Hey Dunchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and welcome to my review of the 6th studio EP from the UK-based producer Draper. This one's called Ambedo. I don't understand why out of the 6 EPs Draper has released so far, only one of those has been released on Monstercat, because he has some pretty fantastic music, and Monstercat has kind of increased his popularity over the years. His release Ghost Town, I think, got over 1 million views on the Monstercat channel, which was pretty awesome. And as a producer, he's been kind of all over the place, making glitch hop and future bass and who knows God what else over the past few years. And with this EP, he is no less diverse. After just a quick listen, you might get tired of some of the releases on here, but listening to it a few times really gives you the respect of the diversity of this EP and how great it truly is in the end. It starts off with Moving, which is kind of an ambient sounding intro, leading perfectly into Together, which is this really futuristic sounding track. And in fact, this sounded so Monstercat sounding, I'm really surprised they didn't want to pick up this EP, because this sounds like exactly everything they put out in the past year. Overall, with those two tracks, I wasn't terribly impressed, considering, even though it is beautiful the way they kind of flow together and everything, and I do typically like intros like this, I didn't think this was any better than a lot of EPs have done in the last year. Sorry Draper, I really love you still, man. We get into Kids, which I still can't help but thinking of Kidzos by Sebastian Ingrosso, Kids by MGMT, those kind of tracks together. It's not supposed to sound like that, but with that really progressive house sound, I'm getting the same kind of vibe. Super melodic, and it's an absolutely gorgeous track with these really flowing vocal samples throughout the whole thing. And I wouldn't say this sound necessarily underlies the entire EP, but it definitely finds its place and fits in the context of it. Heartbeat is another one of those future sounds that you hear on the EP. I wouldn't want to call this one necessarily future bass EP, like I said. This one's extremely diverse for an EP that's only 7 tracks long, one of those including an intro. But this one's also fairly interesting. Like I said, this one would have fit fantastic on Monstercat. Don't know why they didn't release it, doesn't matter to me. This is a really cool EP anyway. Getting more of a Son Holo kind of feel on this one, not necessarily being a bad thing, but I think a lot of the styles that he was taking from were definitely from that scene. Eyes Open is actually a pretty cool track, and although some people might think it's really drawn out the first time, the amount of artistry on this one was really cool. There's this really somber kind of trumpet playing in the background with these really cool snare drums kind of going throughout the whole thing. And it just progresses all the way to the end and then kind of fades out, which, although a lot of people might be a little let down by this, considering Draper's dropped banger after banger, it seems like, on Monstercat. You don't need him on this EP. It's really good anyway. The free track on this EP, Phases with Furies, almost seems to sound like a Jamie XX track, which a lot of people are going to like. And this track is no less good. Like I said, although he is drawing from a lot of different inspirations, this one's so diverse that I don't really care. And to be honest, I really didn't dislike any of the tracks on this EP. Say Goodbye is definitely a testament to that, where it comes out as this really slow kind of house track, also taking on a little bit more of an indie dance sound, where Porter Robinson's Worlds went. I've always really liked that sound, and I think if more artists could progress into this area and maybe push boundaries with this sound, then we could really be onto something in the dance music scene. I really like the Worlds album. I really like this EP. I'm going to give this one a 7.5. Was tossing around between a 7 and an 8. I think there are points in this EP where it does seem a bit drawn out. There is a lot of artistry behind this. It's extremely diverse, but when it comes to uniqueness and what I've heard in the past year on labels like Monstercat, I wasn't extremely thrilled with this EP. Still pretty good. Congrats on Draper for just putting out a really awesome EP, and also for the new remix of the Flux Pavilion and Matthew Coma track. His remix was really awesome. If you haven't checked it out, go do that. And anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What do you think of my review? What do you think I should review next? Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll be catching you guys later. Peace.